So, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and hello to each and everyone. My name is Munisa Pamikirin from BSED Filipino 3A. Today, I will discuss the lesson 7, which is Enhanced Teacher Education Curriculum Anchored on Outcome-Based Education. So, this approach ensures that teacher education programs produce graduates who are competent, outcome-focused, and ready for the challenges of 21st century teaching. At the end of this lesson, we are expected to identify the desired outcomes in terms of competencies of the new teacher education curricula. The second, be familiar with the degree programs, the contents, the delivery modes, and the assessments in the new teacher education program. The third, analyze the new teacher education curricula in the context of outcome-based education. In the last, reflect on the pre-service teachers' preparation to become highly qualified global teachers. So let's start with the competencies of quality teachers as mandated by the Teacher Education Program Outcomes or CMO 74 to 82 Series 2017. All teacher education degree programs are as mandated by the Commission on Higher Education or TRED, will produce teachers show evidence of the following achieved outcomes after 4 years of schooling and earn a degree. So let's proceed to the outcome. The outcome 1. By the way, we have 10 outcomes. So the outcome 1 is demonstrated basic and higher levels of literacy for teaching and learning. So this outcome refers to the teacher's ability to effectively use various forms of literacy such as reading, writing, digital literacy, and critical thinking to support both teaching and student learning means that future teachers are not only expected to read and write well but also to communicate clearly, use technology, analyze information, and help students do the same. So outcome 2, demonstrated deep and principled understanding of the teaching and learning process. So this outcome means that future teachers are expected to have a strong grasp of how students learn and how teaching should be designed to support that learning. It involves understanding educational theories, instructional strategies, learner development, and the principles behind effective teaching. So outcome 3, mastered and apply the subject matter content and pedagogical principles appropriate for teaching and learning. So this outcome means that a future teacher must not only know the content they are teaching but also understand how to teach it effectively. It requires mastery of the subject, example, math, science, and English, and the ability to apply appropriate teaching strategies that suit the learner's needs, level, and context. So outcome 4, applied a wide range of teaching related skills in curriculum, development, instructional material, production, learning assessment, and teaching delivery. So this outcome highlights a teacher's ability to perform various tasks essential in the teaching profession, from designing curriculum and creating teaching materials to assisting students in delivering instruction effectively. It reflects well-rounded preparation and hands-on skills in all stages of teaching and learning. So outcome 5, articulated in applied clear understanding of how educational processes relate to political, historical, social, and cultural contexts. So this outcome means emphasizes that teaching does not exist in isolation. Future teachers must understand how education is influenced by society, politics, history, and by culture. So this awareness helps educators become more responsive, inclusive, and socially aware in their teaching. So let's proceed to the outcome 6. Facilitated learning in various classroom setting, diverse learners coming from different cultural backgrounds. So teacher must be ready to teach in a variety of learning environments, whether urban or rural, big or small, and must be equipped to address the needs of learners from different cultural, linguistic, and social backgrounds. This promotes equity and inclusivity in the classroom. So outcome 7, experience direct field in clinical activities in the teaching milieu as an observer, teaching assistant, or practice teacher. So this outcome refers to hands-on experience in real school settings through observation, assistant, and actual teaching. Future educators gain practical exposure that helps them apply theory, develop classroom skills, and understand the realities of teaching. Outcome 8, created and innovated alternative teaching approaches to improve student learning. Future teachers are encouraged to be creative and flexible, so this outcome reflects the ability to design new strategies or adapt existing ones to better meet the needs of students, especially in challenging or changing learning environments. Outcome 9, practice professional and ethical standards for teacher anchored for both local and global perspectives. Teachers must uphold ethical practices, professionalism, and respect in all their work. This outcome ensures future educators follow the code of ethics for professional teacher in the Philippines while also embracing international standards in education. So the last outcome, which is pursued continuously lifelong learning for personal and professional growth as teachers, learning never stops. This outcome stresses the importance of continuous improvement through further studies, training, reading, and reflection so teachers remain effective, up to date, and passionate about their profession. So let's move to the competencies of quality teachers as mandated by the Department of Education, Order Number 42, Series 2017, Philippines Professional Standards for Teachers or PPST. Aside from equality, teacher outcomes of trade, the Department of Education or DepEd released a set of teacher competencies that are focused first, on the beginning teacher's competencies for career stage level 1. Beginning teacher are newly employed teacher who are mostly fresh graduates from college. As a beginning teacher, you must possess competencies that will enable you to be ready to be employed. These competencies will strengthen those that you have mastered already in your degree course. So PPST domains with cluster of competencies are Domain 1, competencies on content knowledge in pedagogy. So this means demonstrates mastery of subject matter, applies effective teaching strategies suited to the learner's level and content. So domain 2, competencies on the learning environment. So the learning environment creates safe, inclusive, and motivating learning spaces, manages classroom behavior and physical setup effectively. The domain 3, competencies on diversity of learners. So diversity of learners understand learners' differences, cultural, linguistic, developmental, adapts teaching to suit all learners' needs. The domain 4, competencies on curriculum and planning. So, prepares well-structured and relevant lesson plans, align instruction with the curriculum and learner needs. So, domain 5, competencies on assessment and reporting. So, uses appropriate assessment tools, analyzes result, and provides feedback to improve student learning. Domain 6, competencies on community linkages and professional engagement. So, collaborates with parents, school heads, and the community. Participate in professional learning communities. So, domain 7, competencies on personal growth and professional development. So, this is demonstrate commitment to ethical practices, engage in continuous self-improvement as a teacher. So this is note referred to Do 42 Series 2017 for details. Now, let's proceed to the competency framework for teachers in Southeast Asia or CFDC. So to be at par with other teachers in the Asian, it would be the important that you should also know about the competencies required to enable you to teach among Asian countries. These competencies are: the number one, knowing and understanding what to teach. Teachers must have deep knowledge of the subject matter and understand how to present it effectively. This includes being familiar with curriculum, standards, teaching goals, and learner needs. So, the number two, helping students to learn. Teachers should be skilled in planning, delivery, and assisting instruction in ways that engage learners. It includes student-centered teaching, differentiation, and the use of active learning strategies. So the number three, engaging the community. Teachers are expected to build strong relationships with parents, colleges, and community members. They contribute to a supportive learning environment that extends beyond the classroom. The outcome for becoming better teacher. So teachers must commit to lifelong learning, reflective practice, and professional development. This ensures continuous growth and adaptation to change in education, such as new technologies and methodologies. Now let's move to the new teacher curricula. So here are some futures. So the number one, all future teacher will be trained on how to use technologies for teaching and learning. Courses technology for teaching and learning 1 and 2. It means that future teachers will be trained to effectively use technology in teaching, such as digital tools, online platforms, and multimedia resources to enhance student learning. The second, all future teachers will enhance skills in assessment of learning outcomes. Courses assessment 1 and 2. So, future teacher will develop skills in evaluating student learning through various assessment methods like quizzes, portfolios, projects, and performance tasks. So, next, experiential learning courses will be more focused on the application of theory to practice in varied contexts. Courses Field Study 1 and Field Study 2 and Teaching Internship. So these experiential courses will focus more on applying what future teachers learn in real classrooms in different educational settings. So the next is all future teachers in the elementary level will be prepared to teach all subject areas including good manners and right conduct in the mother tongue. Elementary future teacher will be trained to teach all basic subjects including values, education, good manners and right conduct and local languages mother tongue. Next, there are two degree programs that prepare teachers to teach both in the elementary and secondary levels. Degrees Bachelor of Physical Education, BPEd, Bachelor of Technical Vocational Teacher Education or VTVTED. So these degree programs prepare teachers to teach both in elementary and high school, focusing on physical education or technical vocational subjects. Now let's proceed to the course contents to achieve the outcomes. So this means what content should be taught to prepare prospective teacher in their future jobs. Courses contents are means to an end of achieving the outcomes. These are theories, principles, generalization, concepts, and ideas. So, there are three major clusters of subjects or courses which provide the contents of the degree programs. So, the cluster 1, professional education courses. These are courses that are common to all degrees which will provide a rock or foundation of becoming a teacher. The courses titles are as follows: Foundation or Theories and Concepts. This cluster provides foundation, philosophy, psychology, history, sociology. Second, the child and adolescent learning principles. The third, the teaching profession. The fourth, the teacher in the community, school culture, and organizational leadership. The fifth, foundations of special and inclusive education. The B is pedagogical content knowledge. So the subject will provide foundation theory and practice in the different aspects of teaching, facilitating learner-centered teaching and learning, assessment and learning 1, assessment and learning 2, technology for teaching and learning 1, the teacher in the school curriculum, building and enhancing new literacies across the curriculum. So let's proceed to the experiential learning courses. These are subjects that bring together theory and practice. Field Study 1, Observations of Teaching and Learning in Actual School Environment. Field Study 2, Participation in Teaching Assistantship, Teaching Internship. So let's proceed to the Cluster 2, Major Courses. Major subjects are listed for every degree program as attached in the CMO. The Cluster 3, electives. Any additional subjects in other degree programs for teacher education can be offered as electives. So let's proceed to the pedagogical approaches to deliver the content and achieve the outcomes. Now, let's proceed to the pedagogical approaches to deliver the content and achieve the outcomes. So it means learning as students, the initial goal is to help these college students understand and master the content themselves. This involves using effective strategies that help them achieve the intended learning outcomes of the course or lesson. So the uniqueness of teaching future teachers is that the delivery strategy and methods come in two layers. The first layer will enable to learners who are college students to desired learning outcome of the lesson. And the second layer is defined strategy that will teach the content in the future workplace, which is the basic education. In the other word, the pedagogy utilized should be teaching how to, teach. The delivery modes may vary from the three modes or a combination of the three. So the number one is the face-to-face classes, a traditional delivery mode where the teacher and the students are physically present to hold classes in a designated place. One class can be taken as a whole group or small groups at the one sitting. The different strategies may be utilized appropriate to the students' grouping. So, face-to-face classes is a traditional setup where teacher and student interact in person using various strategies suited to whole class or small group instruction. The second, distance learning or remote learning online or printed module. So, distance learning is a delivery mode where the students and teacher are not physically present in one designated place or classroom. For the online, the teacher is stationed in a control hub while the students are connected to the hub. Classes are either synchronous or asynchronous. On the other hand, distance learning using a printed module utilize hardbound materials in printed form where detailed instruction by the teacher will be followed by the learner. Knowledge and skill on technology is required for the first, while the second one requires independent learners. Distant learning is a mode where teacher and students are not physically together using either online platforms requiring tech skills or printed modules requiring independent learning. Blended learning or flexible learning. So this is a combination of the face-to-face and the distance learning. So the whole course will be using the two delivery modes and should be reflected in the curriculum syllabi. Blended learning combines face-to-face classes and distance learning methods with both modes integrated into the course curriculum. So the last, experiential learning, lifelong learning. The following the theory of learning by doing experiential learning approach allows the learners to experience learning firsthand. Sometimes it is also called immersion, apprenticeship, or a practicum. Experiential learning involves learning through the direct experience, often through immersion, practicum, or hands-on activities. Let's proceed to the assessment and learning to provide evidence for the achieved learning outcomes. The new teacher education curricula utilize multiple assessment methods in end of learning, since assessment is used to determine the progress of learning formative and the mastery of learning summative. Multiple ways of doing it is necessary, thus two courses about assessment are included in the new teacher curricula for all the degree programs. These are the assessment and teaching 1 and assessment and teaching 2. The traditional assessment theories, principles, and tools are taken in assessment and teaching 1, and authentic and technology aided assessment is taken in the course assessment and teaching 2. So that means multiple assessment methods used to track learning progress, formative and mastery summative. Two assessment courses, assessment and teaching 1 is traditional and assessment and teaching 2 authentic and tech-based. So assessment and teaching 1 covers traditional theories, principle in tools. Assessment and teaching 2 focuses on authentic assessment and technology integration. So that's all my report. Thank you for listening and watching.